Well, it isn't just April Fool's Day. It's also the first trading day of Q2. And no joke, many are only too happy to see the back of a volatile first quarter. Here to talk about what's in store next is stock trader and registered financial planner Marvin Germo. Thanks, Marvin, for joining us this morning. What a stormy first quarter we've had. The PSE kicked off the year flirting with the 6,800 support level, and now it's pushing past the 7,200 resistance level. We actually have a chart tracking that. Do you see this type of trade carrying on into Q2?
Okay, here's the thing. From a market that was trending downward over the past few months, we've seen the market start to reverse. What we're seeing is not around 7,400 now. We're seeing sellers come at that level. So here's what I see. If we fail to break past that level, we might see the market correct to around 7,115. But that's not alarming because it's just part of a correction that will bring the stock still in its uptrend.
Well, at the moment, it's already broken past the 71,100 levels. It's past 72, and right around here is when it crashed in tandem with China's revaluation of the yuan.
Yes. Around 7,400, around these levels, we're seeing sellers coming in. If it fails to break out from that, we can see it correct around 7,115. However, if it breaks past 7,400, we can see it hit around 7,695 over the near term. That's if corporate earnings come out even better. They see more favorable results also probably in the elections in the next few months.
Right. Now, if you were a sector picker, where would you go? Give me your top and bottom picks.
Okay. I'm still very bullish on consumption. At the end of the day, this BPO fuels that we're having, this increase in it is still just going to fuel consumption, more people spending. So I would look at the supermarkets, I would look at the malls, I would look at consumer goods that people are looking at, which at these levels, even when the market drops, some of them still maintain their levels over the past few months and they did not drop so much.
And your bottom pick?
I'll still stay away from mining and casinos.
You don't think it's bottomed out yet? Now, if you were short the peso against the dollar going into this quarter, well, you wouldn't have played into the quarter hasn't exactly played well into your hands either, because there was every expectation that the peso was going to weaken. Instead, it strengthened in tandem with the rest of the region's currencies. How would you position yourself for this?
It just shows right now that where we were last year was the market being at expensive levels already. So it's just really correcting to where it's supposed to be. Looking at the economy, it's something that's still healthy. We don't want something very extreme where the dollar is too high. We also don't want the dollar to be so low that it might affect the BPO and our OFW remittances as a whole.
Right. Look, you mentioned casinos, and I know you've been tracking the money laundering case as well, and you've issued memos noting bearishness on the RCBC stock over the short, medium, and long term.
Okay.
Do I take it to mean that you're telling your clients to offload it all now?
Here's the thing. We follow a trend management system that even way before that these issues were coming out, the stock was already bearish over the long term. But here's the thing. When the issue came out over the past few days, you saw the stock drop 12%. So if I'm a person wanting to buy the stock, I'd stay away from it first. And yes, it has trickled down to some of the stocks, like other stocks in the industry that are in the finance sector have also dropped down, but it's not as bearish as where RCBC is.
Why would you be bearish RCBC over the long term?
Okay, charts are telling me that there's no buy signal yet. I would rather position myself on other stocks that are in an uptrend that are a bit bullish first. It's not just about what the earnings are also, but it's where the market is heading. If the market is battering it down, no matter what good news you'd see, it will still head down first. So it's not that you don't buy it forever. It's at this point where you stay away first, wait what happens, and then when you see things come into a favorable reversal, you start coming in.
Well, fair enough. What about Bloomberg, the Solaire operator? It's actually done pretty well this year. The stock's climbed more than 13% year to date. Now, if you were on the shorter side of things, and I would say shorter because we're not really allowed to short stocks here. If you're on the shorter side of things, at what point do you cash out for Bloomberg?
What's nice about Bloomberg is this: the trend over the short term is working on its side right now. But if you stretch this out on a longer period of time, you would see that the major trend is still headed down still, and it hasn't broken stronger resistance levels at that point in time. If those resistance levels over the long term were broken, even if I'm a passive investor, I'd see that as a reversal. But now this is just a game for people who are trading over the short term. So if I'm shorting, I'm not gonna short it for the short term trades first.
All right, just very quickly, Marvin. We're seeing a bit of a rally at the moment, but how long do you think before we see the macro picture shift again and investors start rushing for the exits?
At the end of the day, our fundamentals in the Philippines is still amazing. Nothing has changed over the past few months. The BPO industries will still be our primary drivers. With it, it will still fuel in property development centered around the businesses that they bring. So until anything shifts, I wouldn't be scared fundamentally. We're still consumption driven. I wouldn't be scared also with that. And the market is on our side right now. We're still bullish. So a market that's bullish, a market that's in an uptrend will continue to go up until proven otherwise. So until I see anything shift, I'm still okay. But of course, let's be selective in the stocks that we're picking. Stay away from those that are still dropping down.
All right, fair point. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Marvin. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you for having me.